Hey there everyone, I got another knife review for you. Today I'm going to be looking at the Benchmade 760 LFTI, which stands for the Lum Folder Titanium. This is a knife I've actually had for quite a while, and I'm just going to do a quick comparison to some of these well-known knives. Here you have it against the large Sebenza. Here, which I'm going to pretty much do a comparison against this knife mostly. This is the Spyderco Sprint Lum Tanto, and then here you have the titanium military from Spyderco, and this is a paramilitary too. Not the Sprint with the M390. This is actually a dyed, customized scale one with the CTS 20CP. But there you get a quick size comparison. In terms of the specs breakdown of this knife, you've got a 4-inch blade, and it's a blade thickness of 0.15 inches, and the material is CPM M4, one of the greatest qualities about this blade, and it is obviously a frame lock, what Benchmade coins as their monolock, but this is again a Bob Lum design. Bob Lum again passed away several years ago. But his legacy kind of remains through some of these folders that some of these companies are still making. So just a quick overview of this knife. The main comparisons between these two knives is obviously you have the Tanto blades that Bob Lum made famous. But outside of that, there's not really that many similarities. The handle shape is the same. And the grip, overall ergonomics of both of these knives are fabulous. Obviously with the Spyderco, you got the big thumb hole, so you get this added hump, which some people love, some people hate. But in terms of this Benchmade, you've got this, obviously no thumb hole, so you got the jimping right here. It's a very, very grippy jimping, and you got this large thumb stud here, which makes for very easy deployment. But outside of that, there's really no other similarities between these knives. Blade steel, this one, the Spyderco is VG10. Again, this one is M4. You can tell by the blade stocks here, the Benchmade is quite a bit thicker than the Spyderco Lum Tanto. The Lum Tanto here has, I think, a 3mm stock, and this one I think is pushing near 4mm. Again, it said 0.15 inches. I don't know how accurate that is. I feel like it's a lot thicker. I remember the first time I got this blade, I was blown away by how thick this blade stock was. But also CPM 4, yeah, I was just really attracted to that blade steel at the time. Ever since I've had it, I was never that impressed until I sharpened it on my Wicked Edge, and then I put it through a lot of cutting tests, and I've been cutting through a lot of boxes, and after sharpening it, this guy is still razor sharp. And well, too bad it's blurry. But again, razor sharp. I've sliced through so many boxes with this thing, and this M4 has really held on to its edge really, really well. Bob Lum's designs, this one is by far my favorite design knife out of all the productions. I wish I could get my hands on some of his real custom work, but I'm assuming that's going to be really, really expensive. I really love the way that these holes are cut out in the titanium, and there's a contrast. I've actually since Scotch-brighted this titanium, so that's why you get a little bit of shinier surface. Normally it's going to be a little bit more bead blasted, kind of like the Sebenza, and I do love that finish as well, but it scratches up a lot. I got this knife used, and so there are plenty of scratches on here before, and so I Scotch-brighted it up, and it really took that Scotch-brite finish well, and I think it looks great in contrast with the black blade. Then this is Benchmade's, I believe I'm not sure if they call it DLC coating or what, but this black blade is held up really well against all its cutting tasks. this blade, it's 5.5 or 5 ounces flat, 5.0 ounces, and fits the hand well. The reach of the blade is really great, and this is perfect centering. This knife, honestly, to me, I feel like would have been the perfect knife, save for a couple of gripes, which I think are, I want to say, deal breakers. I'm keeping the knife for its collectability, and I love using it around the house, but I never carry this. And there's two main reasons why I don't. One is, lockup is great. There's no blade play. I've adjusted this pivot and it's great. No up and down blade play or anything like that. However, you've probably seen this in other reviews, whether it's write-ups or other video reviews. One is the detent. I'm kind of just barely pump. If I go like this, it's not gonna come out. The blade is really heavy, but this pivot is tightened down to where there's no blade play and all that kind of stuff. But if I just lightly I just bumped my desk right there. Lightly push it out here, it's gonna fling out. The detent sucks on this blade. I don't know if there's actually really a hole on here that catches on to the little ball detent here. That's there, but there's no real snap. It kind of just goes in there. It doesn't snap into place like a lot of other blades that I have. Even this is my Peter Rosenti that I did a review on. This detent is like ridiculous. When you put this blade in, it snaps into place. Similar to my Hinder right here, or not my Hinder, my 0551 from Zero Tolerance. When it falls back into its detent, it snaps into place. But this one, it kind of just falls in there. Maybe it uses the weight of the blade. There's no snap whatsoever in the detent. So that's one of my main gripes. The second gripe, which also you've seen on the videos, is that for some reason Benchmade, and I doubt Benchmade's ever gonna watch my videos, but whatever, I don't really care. For some reason, whenever they have a liner lock design or a frame lock design, they say because of safety reasons, which I think is a load of crap, because every other knife company with liner locks and frame locks all use tip-up carry, or at least have a universal carry or whatever. But Benchmade, they make theirs tip-down carry. On this particular knife, it might serve a purpose because this pocket clip also serves as a lock stop, a hyperextension for this lock. I've taken it off and trying to actuate the lock, and unless you're like really shoving it over, you're not going to hyperextend the lock anyway. But I wish they had this knife tipped down. If this knife were tipped down, this would be an awesome EDC knife for me. Because I love this knife. I love the ergonomics. I love the look of the knife. I love the feel of the knife. But because it's tip down pocket carry, that is a total deal breaker with this knife. And it's not even because I hate tip down, but this knife in particular, tip down, is really uncomfortable to reach into your pockets. So if you think about this sitting in your pocket, your hand, it's tip down right hand carry as well. So as my hand goes into my pocket, it always, every single time, it brushes against this little part here, which is fine. It's rounded. But right here on this jimping, it's a really hard cut jimping. And when my hand goes in here, it always scratches along this jimping. And I don't know, you can't really see the marks there, but it's really hard cut. And if you're not really thinking about it and pulling your, getting your keys or whatever, you could really scratch yourself or, not cut yourself, but it's really uncomfortable in the pocket. So, man, I wish if Benchmade could fix this and make it a tip-up carry, this would be an awesome knife. There's one guy on YouTube and in the knife pimping forums called Carg Knives that, he did a tapping with a tip-up carry, and basically the clip would come here, so the clip still works as a hyperextension lock stop here, but yeah, I don't wanna knock the dude, but he got some pretty bad reviews anyway. So I didn't want to send this knife in here, and I'm still stuck with a tip down carry. I'm debating whether or not just to take the clip, off altogether and just stick it in my pocket. But again, can't do that because the detent on here sucks. So I don't want the blade opening on me either while it's in my pocket. So, this knife, these two knives are great. If you would say collaborations with Bob Lum. They're both great knives, but again, the Spyderco here, I don't carry this that much, but I would favor this knife, to carry due to the tip-up carry. This is a liner lock from Spyderco. It's like, why does this have to be, tipped down? It doesn't make any sense. This knife is great. For me, I don't like the hump here, so it's a cool knife, and in memory of Bob Lum, I want to collect these, and it's cool. Again, this knife with the CPM4, the edge retention, the titanium, the frame lock, the lockup. It's a heavy duty knife and everything. But these two issues, the ball detent and the pocket clip, they're deal breakers for me in terms of carrying it. In terms of collecting it, that's not a big deal. So I enjoy holding this knife and flipping it out when I'm at home, and using it to break down boxes and all that kind of stuff. But I probably never carry this, pretty much because of this pocket clip here. So anyway, that's a quick review of this Bob Lum, this Benchmade LFTI. This is an awesome knife. If you're a collector, I definitely think about getting one. But if you're just thinking about EDC, then maybe look somewhere else in terms of a good, comfortable carry knife in your pocket. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about this knife, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.